Good morning everybody and welcome to Green Side Up. Now it's these tomato plants have had a long season. There was 20 plants in there, there's only 10 left. I've taken 5 out already of these beds about a week and a half ago I think. And the rest of the tomatoes that are on there now, they're about as ripe as they're going to get, so they're all coming off. And I'm going to cut the rest of the plants down to ground level because I've got plants growing in there that I don't want to disturb. And then we'll get the framework down. So that's the next job. As many of you know, this bed has 15 tomato plants in, and they were all grown from side shoots that were taken from the main tomato bed that I've just been removing this morning. As the side shoots grew on those plants, I took them off, popped them in the soil, and they grew, and I eventually planted out this bed from them. Now they're still fruiting, and they will continue to fruit as long as the weather holds for them. I've topped the plants out and removed the foliage from underneath to let the sun in and let the air in to stop any moulds or anything there. They're blight resistant, so I've got no problems with that either. And underneath the base of the plants I've planted mustards, so the bed is working doubly hard. Now it's definitely a good method, this, because using this method and doing this, I've had tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, straight off the plants up until the second week in December. So we're in September now. We've got September, October, November, December. 3 extra months of cropping. I mean, at that rate you could actually plant seeds in July, and as long as the weather holds for you and you get a reasonably mild autumn, which we're tending to get these days, it's worthwhile if you can grow under cover. So never rule it out, and utilise what you've got. Utilise your space well, as I have here with the tomatoes and mustard, and utilise what you've got, which are the side shoots coming off your plants, to grow free ones. And there you go. As you can see, I've got ripening fruits on there, and the weather will kill these plants for me now, and I'll keep cropping off them until the plants die, or if the plants run out of fruit. So I've got the last half of those tomato plants out from over there now, and I've just cut them down to the ground and got rid of them onto the compost heap, taken all the cane structures down, and what I'm left with is these cable ties. This is what I put that structure up with this year. They are single-use plastic, but I did ask my council the year before last about recycling these through the recycling system, and they've said as long as they're not white or black, well actually not as long as they're not black, but I won't use white either. I'm using coloured. Last year I used blue and yellow, this year green, and when all my structures are down this year and I've gathered all these in, they'll be cable tied together and put through the recycling bin so they can be reused again. But for next year, Steve over at Digwell Greenfingers gave me a hint about cable ties, and they're reusable. They've got a little tab on them, you click them and they open up and you can use them again and again. That's what I'll be using next year, so it's much more than a single-use plastic, but they're not going to be wasted and they're not going to become part of a plastic problem, so to speak. Anyway, so moving on from that. Last night, Sean James Cameron on his channel did a podcast, the first of many I hope. I believe he's doing them monthly and they're half an hour at a time, and he's looking for videos and information from YouTube subscribers or YouTube people who have got their own channels, from creators, you know. So I'll put a link in the description of this video and it will take you over there, and you can find out all the information if you want to, you know, put a video together for Sean to appear on the podcast. I did one a couple of weeks ago. It appears last night on that podcast, closely followed by Tony Smith with a live interview from his polytunnel. So it was quite good, that last night, and I think my video was reasonably good and good information. So go and have a look at that, and go and see young Tony and Sean talking about the carrot challenge and the you know, lots of other info on there and people. So it's well worth a look. Links down below, and go and have a look at that. That's it for today. Stay safe everyone, look after yourselves, and I'll see you in a day or so's time. Ta-ra now.